Welcome back to the Girl Power Alliance podcast. I'm so excited to be here today. I don't record as much as I want to. And today we have an amazing woman who you're going to fall in love with her. She's so our people. Let me tell you a little bit about Gail Root. She is an author, a course creator. She is a kingdom business coach, and she has a very specific niche, which we're going to talk about today, for women of faith who are called to lead in direct sales and network marketing. Hello. She's our perfect people. She helps leaders to create and grow a business and a team that honors God and attracts others who want to do the same. She loves to watch women awaken to the truth that direct sales and network marketing are founded on biblical principles. She teaches them to go from looking at their business as a little side hustle to understanding that their business is a ministry in the marketplace, and they rise up. She just released a brand new book called Master Your Morning. She is passionate. She is full of vibrancy and life and knowledge. She has decades of experience in network marketing personally, and she's translated that into helping just hundreds and hundreds of women to really find their passion. And I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you, Michelle. It's an honor to be with you. I love you and everything you're doing in GPA, and it's just wonderful to be together.
Well, can we start here by, and I kind of alluded to it in a little bit of your bio, two things. Can you share a little bit more about who you are, just some personal stuff? And then can you share with people that are listening your niche? I love your niche. I think it is one of the most hope-filled demographics on the planet right now.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you. All right. So, a little bit about me. I actually grew up in a direct sales family. My father was a All-American quarterback for Gettysburg College, was in the Army in Korea, and ended up getting into, well, I'm not going to go, all right. Yeah, my dad was an amazing man, and he was in direct sales, held records in different company, became president of that company, and I watched him pioneer women my whole life. He had 5 daughters, but it was and he of course championed us, but it was watching him champion other women in direct sales. Now these women were homemakers, right? They were all homemakers. We're talking. My dad's going to be 90 this month. And so we're talking quite a few decades ago. But so I grew up in like wanting to be around women who were inspiring women, wanted to be around women who still wanted to honor the values of God, marriage, family, but knew that God had created them for more and that they could step into and still honor those boundaries. So jumped into the industry and just have always loved it. Have always loved it.
It's a beautiful thing, and what a foundation. I
Yeah.
think that oftentimes we tell our story and it starts at like somewhere in our 20s, but really it's the stuff from like deep rooted in ourselves from childhood that begin this path.
Amen.
So what an amazing thing. I love your demographic. We have a lot of women inside of GPA who are in this specific demographic that you work with. And I will just say one thing, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. One of the things that I love the most when we have a woman, let's just say that goes through the Radiant Leadership Academy. I'm going to speak of one woman in particular. She was 76 and she was in the Radiant Leadership Academy. And this is our 16-week leadership program that's live virtually. So first couple of weeks, she didn't really say much. I could see on her face, I watched their faces, that she was apprehensive to say the least and felt irrelevant. That's what I could see on her face. She didn't feel relevant.
Wow.
We have a big demographic. It's everyone from their 20s to their 70s. And all of a sudden, right around week 5, she was doing this at the beginning. She was raising her hand. For those of you listening, I'm raising my hand like a child in elementary school, like, pick me, pick me. She was raising her hand to get called on. And she said, "These dry bones have come to life." And I
Amen.
watched her face as she expressed how she realized that she's not done. God's not done with her yet. So what
No.
you are working in a very specific demographic. Will you talk about that, why you've chosen it, and just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, so I was literally sitting in church when I heard God calling me to Christian coaching. And I thought, oh my, so I'm leaving direct sales and network marketing. And I really spent almost a year wrestling as I went through, Christian Coaching Institute and did all the certifications and all the things with like a grief that I was leaving the industry because was my heart and passion. But was clearly calling me to coaching. So there was no, and then all of a sudden I started asking him, hello, I started specifically asking him, Lord, what's going on? Why aren't you giving me the green light to leave? And I got so clear from him. Why would I have you leave where I have raised you up?
Mm.
I
So
want you to stay right here and coach my daughters here. Awaken them to what I could cry now. Awaken them to what I am doing here. But
mm,
but I'm 56, and I knew right away that I was not called to the new ones coming in. You know, I knew I was called to the women in the second half of life who wanted to work smarter, not harder. They were done with hustle and grind. Those words are for the young. You know what I mean? They're for the young. And, women who are like, I want to be the grandma. I want to travel. I want to enjoy retirement, but I still want to have a business. I want to have purpose, but I want to do it in a way that honors God, honors my family, and doesn't suck the life out of me. I want to garden. I want to go walking, hiking, biking. I want to go have this vibrant life, but I don't want to have a business that's going to be, 9 to 5 again, or even a 12-hour day. So I really became passionate about helping awaken. And you know what I love about this niche? They have so much experience
yes,
and they're really uncompromising in their values. They
yes.
don't want to go back. They don't want to go back to, um, yeah, they just don't want to compromise anymore with their values. And so it's a really exciting group of women to work with. I love it. And just like what you said, the dry bones are awakening. We have my husband and I have been married. It'll be 30 years, and he's 55. I'm 56. We have, based on our genetics, we have a good 20 years left of vibrant living. You know, the last thing I want is anyone in this demographic to feel like, okay, my the most of my life is done
Yeah.
and it's downhill from here.
Yes.
No way. God is never done with us.
I always say if you have breath in your lungs, he's not done. Like he's done. When you're done, you don't even know because you're in heaven. You're done. But while you're here, if you're here, you're not done.
And Michelle, the legacy, I know you talk a lot about legacy with women. In this specific demographic, the legacy they're showing their grandchildren. They're showing their grandchildren that they are vibrant grandmothers with lives that matter and purpose that matters. And that's putting a seed in that child that will forever be there, that will awaken them to the hope of their future. It's just awesome.
I feel like it really has been the work of the enemy to tell human beings, especially women, okay, women more than men, but human beings, that there comes a time where you are no longer relevant and you no longer have value as you get older. I will tell you, I'm turning 50 this month in a couple of weeks, and I have zero feeling of, man, I wish I wasn't turning 50. I'm like, I have so much experience, so many things that I have experienced, so many obstacles that I have walked through, so many challenges. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. I feel personally so much more valuable than I've ever felt.
Exactly, Michelle. There is so much value in the wisdom, the ability for these women to mentor and to love on and inspire and encourage because of their life experiences. And when they start realizing the richness of the life experiences that God has given them and how they can use that, it just sets them on fire.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really a beautiful thing. And your passion shines through. And I think that's an important component as a leader. Uh, um, I'm a passionate person. It is contagious, and I think passion is a strategy, and I think that you exude it. You had the personal experiences and you exude it, and that, you're literally handing that off, that you're like, tag, you're it, and you're
Amen.
creating. I mean, your legacy is really phenomenal because of what you are now sharing with so many other people, and I think that that's just, I just love it. I love what you're doing. I love the group of people that you're doing it with. And we speak the same language. You and I,
We
we
do.
literally speak the same language. And even when I started in network marketing, I was in my 20s, and I
Mhm.
wanted the same things that you're talking about now for the women in this specific demographic. I wanted freedom. I wanted purpose, to know that I was impacting lives. And as a young mother, you're impacting lives. And by the way, it is enough. If you
Yes.
are feeling like, but I don't feel like I want something else, you don't have to have it. It is
Exactly.
there is a season for everything. And I don't know who I would have been if I had met my Bobby first and started my life with him. But that's not how my life was. I was married, divorced, and a single mom before I met him. So I was thrust into the working world. So that was already who I was. But when I got into network marketing, I wanted to make more money, work less time, but I didn't want to compromise because I still loved being a homemaker, cooking for my family. I never loved cleaning, so I'm not going to lie about that. But creating memories, being with, why do we work? Like, why do we go to school, get a job? Why are we doing it? So that we can create a life and a legacy for our families. So network marketing is just such a smart way to do it.
Yeah. Love it.
I want to talk to you about two things. I want to talk to you about the transformation that happens with women. So typically, are the women that come to you
Mhm.
already in a company, looking for a company? Um, I would love to hear like kind of the progression.
Yeah. So I would say that, well, on average, I'm a pollster in my group. I love surveying and polling, and it's partly to affirm that I'm on the right track, right? For the Lord to show me through this information that I'm on the right track, but it's also to gain, oh, this is interesting, right? So on average, my clients are 8 to 10 years in the industry.
Wow.
So some of them are 20 years. So I don't get those newbies too often, but I do get some. And I have been getting this new wave coming into the group that are looking. Like I'll ask them, are you in a company? They say, I'm looking for a
Mm.
company. And I love that because I tell my clients, hello, there's people in here looking, pay attention. But the, so as far as the first question on what am I seeing happen, the transformation, well, my passion is one, helping them to see that the industry is founded on biblical principles because the enemy has done such a powerful job in this industry at keeping women feeling embarrassed,
Huh?
ashamed to be in direct sales and network marketing. And I know I'm speaking your language here, but the truth is, why does God call so many Christian women into this industry? Freedom, servant leadership, community, multiplication, prosperity. I mean, these are all biblical principles. And God's like, I feel like He's going, hello, hello. Do you not see me here? Do you not see what I'm doing? And when women, so what happens when they like awaken to, oh, God's in this industry. He's the one who's called me here. He wants to partner with me in my business. It's like these light bulbs and these chains break off and light bulbs go on and they step into a new boldness. They step into a new courage and motivation, which is really the heart of my book. Because Master Your Morning and Change Everything is all about personal revival, Michelle.
Mm.
And what I have found is if you're going to step into kingdom entrepreneurship, it is not for the faint of heart. What we're
Nope.
saying is we're partnering with God. Hello, partnering with God. So we've got to be overcomers. We've got to be um, e- energy, passion, motivation,
Mm.
and perseverance because obstacles are going to come. And so if we have that personal revival, which is intimacy with Him, right? So if we are growing our intimacy with Him, then the fire, the motivation, the courage, the boldness is going to all come out of that. So
Mm.
that's really at the heart of what I offer and building your business on kingdom values. I've got, 6 steps to building your business on kingdom values. And that's really where we start is that personal revival, honoring Him and just awakening from there.
So you automatically went into number two. I want to talk about your book,
Oh,
Mastering Your Morning. Is it related to what you're teaching inside of your coaching? Are you talking about network marketing?
yeah. So the foundational piece of my coaching is honoring God. So we honor God when we steward well, we honor God when we believe He is who He says He is.
Amen.
It's a daily reminder and a daily choice for me. And we believe in who He says I am. So
Mm.
identity, right? And then when we understand, okay, He is who He says He is. I am who I say I am. That's the foundational piece. But honoring Him is being a Matthew 6:33 woman, seeking Him first in everything. And when He gave me the revelation, which is really what the book is about 6 years ago, just kind of this awakening, it was like, oh, you mean literally seek you first? Like, wake up. We have new mercies every day, right? So wake up every day and say, God, you're first. You're first. I'm going to sit at your feet this morning. I'm going to make space for you. I'm going to make room for you. You want me to hear your voice. And if I don't make space to hear it, I'm going to go into this world and into this day cluttered, busy, overwhelmed, anxious, and
Mhm.
expecting blessing,
Mhm.
expecting direction. How? Right? How? So, everything we're looking for in our life, focus, in our business, clarity, direction, peace, joy, strategy, wisdom, it all comes from sitting at his feet. So,
Yes.
that's really what the book is about.
Oh, see, I'm so mad. I told her before we started the recording, I had every intention on purchasing that book and reading it before our podcast recording today, and I have no idea what happened. It just didn't happen. So, as soon
Well,
as I'm done.
the good news is it's intentionally, so it's got some beautiful endorsements. It's got some beautiful, so I started teaching this 6-step practice 3 years ago. And so there's beautiful testimonials in there. And I put them in there and a number of them because what the heck? Who cares if 6 steps impacted my life,
Right.
right? We need to know that it impacts a lot of women's lives. And then so I put those testimonials in there so you could identify with each of the different women. And then it goes through the 6 steps. It gives you a summary, some frequently asked questions. You can finish it on your deck with a cup of coffee in an hour,
I'm
probably. So
excited. I'm is it on Amazon?
it is. It
Okay,
is.
I will literally be ordering this book today on Amazon, and I'll hopefully have it before I leave on my next trip, and I'm going to read it on the plane. But you don't need testimonies because you are impacting people's lives. I'm glad you did that. I know why you did it, but you just who you are everywhere you go. You're always impacting lives really in profound ways. It's part of your gifting. Like you can't help it, even if you're trying not to. If you're not trying to, it's happening automatically. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. Writing a book is, everybody says, oh, I'm going to write a book. It's a whole different thing to actually write. And then it's a whole different thing to take the writing and have them edited and then published and put into an actual book. And now you're selling it. So congratulations, kudos to you. I feel like everybody says, oh, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to start a podcast, but not everybody does. And so you've done it and you've done it very, very successfully. So thank you for that. I wanted to, you've been around the profession for a long time and you said something about women are ashamed to be a part of network marketing. And I think part of that is because so often the behaviors of the leaders in network marketing are detestable.
Mhm.
So you don't want to say that you're a part of something that has people that do detestable things. But we could say that about the government, we could say that
Right.
about law enforcement, we could say that
Right.
about doctor, we could say it about the truth,
Every industry has,
yeah,
yes.
every industry does. But specifically, one of the things that I noticed, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this because you work with women every single day. One of the things that I notice is women have a very hard time talking about the fact that they are involved in network marketing for the opportunity. Yes, you have to align with a product or a service or something that resonates with you. Otherwise, you're just a salesperson. I don't think sales works in network marketing. I don't ever think it ever worked. It's always about a personal
Mhm.
passion, testimony, crusade.
Yes.
But I find that women have and men don't. They don't even talk about what their product is. They're always talking about the opportunity, the freedom, the ability to build a legacy and create finances. And women don't. What are your thoughts? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, and I really find it really bizarre because I'll teach. I have my little people can't see, but I've got these little emoji paddles, and one of them, well, I don't know where it is, but one of them is the gift emoji. The little package with the little red bow that we use for a gift in our emojis. I speak emoji, but anyway, so I talk to clients, and I'm amazed, like you say, watching their faces. You watching their faces. When I tell them, when I ask them, what is the greatest gift that you actually have in your business to give another woman? The thing that will impact her life the most. And so we go through this whole thing, and without question, it's the opportunity. I mean, it doesn't even hold, it's almost embarrassing when we look at it in reality. Like, okay, here's my little product over here that I'm selling for, $97, whatever it is. And it might be fabulous. It probably is fabulous. I think that I'm a big consumer of products in the
Me
industry. I
too.
love them. Okay. However, now let's look over here at your opportunity. This transforms lives.
Yes.
This transforms families. This impacts generations. This changes. This is personal development. This is transformation. This is community. This is hope. This is prosperity. I mean, it's not even it. So why? So why are we afraid to share the greatest gift that we have? And I really think it comes down to women feeling it's how do I get to that conversation? It's almost when we break it down. When I'm coaching clients, it's Gail, how do I get to that conversation? And I have found the industry teaches us to tell. The industry teaches us to tell. And I said, if you could just stop telling and start asking.
Mm,
Because when you start asking people, now you're passionately curious about who they are, what they have, what they do, what they want, what they don't want. And now you're understanding. After you hear her, she feels seen, known, and heard. Like we used to say, like, know, and trust.
yes.
Let's add seen, known, and heard,
Mm,
right? So when she feels seen, known, and heard, guess what happens? And then you say, you know what? I just heard you tell me that you're looking for community, that you're looking for the ability to take your family on a vacation that you haven't been able to do. I just heard you tell me that, da, 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 da. And I have something based on what you've just told me. I have something I think you'd be interested in. So it's this whole shift to stop telling
yeah.
and start asking,
Beautiful.
asking the questions. And then it's this comfortable, beautiful, natural connection of what you have and what she needs. When you're telling, people are like,
Yes.
hands over the ears, they don't want to hear it
They
until
don't.
they know that you've heard them.
Beautiful. That's a huge shift. I love that you shared that. I hope that if you're listening or watching this on YouTube, I hope that that went in and resonated with you. And I had an advantage when I got started in network marketing because I had stood behind the chair as a stylist and a makeup artist for a decade. So I was amazing at asking questions because I had oftentimes strangers sitting in my chair and I had, a couple of hours of their undivided attention, and to get to the know them or to get them talking, I had to ask them questions. So I took that skill with me into network marketing. And it's people would get on the phone with me over the years and say, hey, I'm sitting down with coffee with this lady and this is what she does for a living. And what do I say to her? I say, I don't know what to tell you to say to her, but I know what you can ask her because I can't tell you anything until I know who this person is. What are they passionate about? Where is the need and how can we fill it? What's missing from their life? What do they love doing?
Exactly.
This is a key component, and you call it telling, but I say selling. It's the same thing. You're just saying words.
Yes.
You're just saying words. You know what I mean? It's the same old same.
And I say to my clients, I say, stop selling, start serving, and stop recruiting, start inviting. And
Mm,
so when you show up with that servant part, you're curious about who she is. You're curious about what she's going on in her life naturally. When you show up to sell, you have an agenda to tell her about your products.
beautiful.
And it's not, there isn't what, don't hear what I'm not saying. I love that phrase. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that you don't tell people about your products. It's a matter of when you do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the intention behind it, because I will maybe have reached out with somebody specifically to talk to them about my opportunity, but because I'm asking questions and I'm more interested in them as a person, it might not have come up on that conversation because I'm not going to
Exactly.
force it in unnaturally. But I've opened the door to a conversation. I've opened the door to creating a stronger relationship with them. And when the opportunity comes, so I like to preface, let's just say I reached out to you. You and I've known each other. I haven't talked to you in 6 months. I reach out. I say, Gail, I'd like to get on a call with you. I have something I want to share with you. And so I get you on a call or a Zoom and I say, I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been dying to share something with you. But before we tell me what's going on in your life. If that conversation, tell me what's going on in your life, goes in a direction that takes up all of our time, I don't shove it in there. I say,
Right.
listen, we need to keep this conversation going. Can we schedule another call? Because I did have a reason that I was reaching out, but I don't
Yeah.
want to
And,
shove it in there.
exactly. And in that, so what you just did, hey, I'm really excited to talk to you. But let me hear about you first. I want to hear what's going on with you first. So let's say she says, I'm so glad, it's God ordained that we're having this call, Michelle, because I just need to unload this. My husband was just diagnosed with, my husband just lost a job. My child just,
Yeah.
my, and you would have started with the opportunity, right? I mean, so it's showing up as that servant, that heart. And, Jesus was the first network marketer.
It was.
He told stories to connect with people. He asked questions. So yeah, I really think if we could do a study and find, I mean, like go to eight-figure earners like yourself. Okay. If we found eight-figure earners, I could almost guarantee you they would be a pro at asking questions.
Amazing. And casting a vision, both those two things.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing at asking questions and amazing at casting a vision of what is possible for people.
Because after they've asked the questions, they know what vision to
That's
cast.
exactly right.
How do you cast a vision when you haven't asked the questions?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, Gail, I just
Mm.
love you. So women are listening and they're like, I need Gail. How do they find you? What are you offering? Do you do one-to-one coaching, group coaching? Tell everybody that's watching or listening all the things about you. We're going to already have an Amazon link to your book. We'll put that in the show notes if you're
Thank
listening on
you.
the podcast or if you're watching on YouTube, so you don't have to dig for it, but tell all the other things.
So the movement really is Kingdom Dream Chasers, which I know is the heart of your movement too. So Kingdom Dream Chasers with Gail Root is the Facebook group. Podcast is Kingdom Dream Chasers. Um, and then my I have a website, gailroot.com. Made it very easy, gailroot.com. You can go on there and find the events. I do a live event pretty much every month, which is usually a challenge. I have a master class on the book coming up. I'm not sure when this will air, but so live events on the website. And then I do have from courses, I have an app. It's a membership app and you can just join and get access to some. Well, first of all, you can download the app and there's free content on there. So
Great.
that's a great start. I like it, kick the tires with me, get a feel for who I am. But then there's the courses. You can join a 6-month course. You can get into a 12-month coaching program. So there's different levels of things based on what you want or need. I also have, I believe on my podcast, or you can reach out to me. I have a little questionnaire about working with Gail, and I ask you questions to figure out where are you. I ask you questions. Shocking, right? I ask you questions, figure out where you are, so that I can plug you in and make suggestions to you about what I think might be the best fit at this time.
I love that. Your heart to serve shines through, and I believe that as you do that, you just get blessed more and more and more. So I just want to say thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the way that you're doing it with the passion and grit and knowledge and skill behind what you're doing. You're really taking this profession and you are a part of shifting the narrative. So I appreciate you and just love you and support you. And I'm so glad we met, and I can't wait to see all the great things that God has for you in the future. We'll have her website and all the details to everything you need to know about Gail in the show notes of the website. Is there any last thing you want to leave them with? One last thing?
Well, I actually just want to thank you, Michelle, and just honor you for the work that you're doing, the vision that God gave you, the call that you said yes and stepped into with GPA. It's just so powerful, and I absolutely love it. And I just keep seeing the growth. I have clients who come in their GPA, and I just love it. And so I'm just excited about our collaboration and just watching the women rise in this industry and being salt and light.
Yes.
We're being, and I also want to just wrap up by saying, your vision to give people, women, financial freedom inside this industry through, GPA. How do we, I love Jim Baker when he says, how do we get called to the nations and go serve the nations when we can't go to the store? So we are called to be generous givers. You cannot be a generous giver. We are called to bless others. How can you bless others if you're not first blessed?
That's right.
You've got nothing to go bless. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. There are ways to bless people that
Of
aren't
course.
financial. However, we live in the United States of America. We can be great entrepreneurs that go give generously. So yeah, thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like there needs to be a part two because we could talk I would love to do a whole podcast talking with you specifically about this piece, the money piece.
Oh
I'm
yes,
extremely passionate about it in particular today. And I would love to do that. So will you come back?
absolutely. I'd love to. Yes, passionate about this, and the Lord's just breaking chains off of women and really
Yes.
Christians in general.
Yes, he is.
The lies that we've been told unintentionally, I think, for the most part, innocently but wrongly about what God says about money.
That's right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you for everything. And I can't wait to have you back.
Thank you, Michelle.